Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Jolie Greenbaum. I'm the Executive Assistant at Keyork Immigration Law, and today we're going to be discussing the importance of keeping track of your travel dates for your citizenship application. So as you may know, for a citizenship application, you need to have been physically present in Canada for at least 3 years out of 5. So that being said, it's really important that you keep track of your travels at least 5 years preceding the date that you wish to submit your citizenship application. But ideally, the second that you become landed in Canada, you become a permanent resident, you should start keeping track of your travels inside and outside of Canada. It will make your life that much easier when it comes time to either renew your PR card or to submit your citizenship application. But the main difference between submitting the PR card application and the citizenship application is that there is no H&C factor for a citizenship application. And what this means is that there is absolutely no leeway if you give the wrong dates or if you don't exactly meet the eligibility requirements. So if you don't meet those 3 years out of 5, your application will absolutely not be accepted. It doesn't matter what extenuating circumstances there were that led you to be unable to meet those 3 years out of 5 requirement. Whereas for the PR card application, there is a little bit of leniency there if there were extenuating circumstances. So all that being said, it is extremely important that you diligently remember and keep track of your travels inside and outside of Canada. Now, there are a number of ways to do this. You can do this by looking through your flight confirmations, your hotel bookings, passport stamps, but many of our clients actually end up building Excel sheets where they can really in detail keep track of their travels from what date to what date they were outside of Canada, where, for how long, and this way, when it comes time to submitting their citizenship application, it's actually quite straightforward because they know exactly if they met the dates and where they were when they were outside of Canada. And this makes it much easier also for immigration to review this application and a higher likelihood of success for the application. But if you're having trouble remembering or you hadn't so diligently kept track of your travels the years preceding the date that you submit your citizenship application, there are other ways to find out or to confirm your travel dates. One of those ways being to submit a CBSA ATIP request. And what you can do is online you can submit an ATIP request to CBSA, which is only $5, and you can request your entry and exit dates. And what this does is that then CBSA will be able to track and provide you the dates that you exited and entered Canada, and you can choose the time frame, thereby being the time frame, the 5 years preceding the date that you submit the application. So that will give you a really good indication and will help supplement the application, and it's evidence to immigration, okay, these are the exact travel dates that I was entering and exiting Canada. So it just helps to build a stronger application and helps confirm for you what dates you actually were inside and outside of Canada. If you weren't able to keep track of your travels so diligently, then it sort of becomes a little bit of detective work. So going through emails and finding, like I was saying before, like flight confirmations, hotel bookings, and trying to piece together when you were inside and outside of Canada, it ends up making the process that much more complicated and worrisome because you're not 100% sure of your dates outside of Canada. And like I was saying before, if the dates don't match up with the dates that immigration has on hand or with the documents that you're going to be providing in the citizenship application, it ruins your credibility and there's a higher likelihood that immigration will send you a residency questionnaire. Now, this questionnaire is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a standard questionnaire, but it does mean that immigration is questioning the dates that you were actually inside and outside of Canada. So then what you will need to provide is much more substantive evidence proving that you have actually been residing in Canada for the last 3 years out of 5. So some of these documents might include health records, tax returns, ownership documents, school documentation, letters of employment, bank statements, utility bills, and at our office, even though the residency questionnaire very clearly outlines what documents you need to provide, our office likes to provide even more additional documents on top of that to help build a stronger application. And the thing with the residency questionnaire is that although it is sort of standard, it can elongate the processing time. It will make the processing time longer, at times even twice as long. So that's why it's really important at the onset to submit a strong application where your dates inside and outside of Canada are very clear and you have the documents to support those dates that you were inside and outside of Canada. So if you are worried that you don't necessarily have the documentation to prove that, sorry. So if you are worried that you don't necessarily have the documentation So if you're worried that you don't have the documentation or evidence to prove the dates that you were inside and outside of Canada, it may be better to hire a lawyer in this case because, like I said, there are no agency factors for a citizenship application, and the burden of truth actually falls on the applicant. So you need to show that you were inside of Canada for those 3 years out of 5. It's not on the shoulder, sorry. So if you're worried that you don't necessarily have the evidence or documentation to prove that you were inside Canada for the past 3 years out of 5, it may be best to hire a representative to take on your case because, like I said, there are no agency factors for a citizenship application, and ultimately the burden of truth falls on the applicant. So it is up to you to prove to immigration that you have in fact been inside of Canada for 3 years out of 5 and you have the evidence to prove this. So that's why we always recommend to our clients prior to submitting their citizenship application years prior to keep records on file of their life in Canada, just in case immigration does end up sending them a residency questionnaire where they do need to prove this on top of the dates that they had provided in the citizenship application. However, if you have been keeping track of your travels for the 5 years preceding the date that you submit the application, in a very organized manner, like through an Excel sheet, and you're completely sure that the application is going to be quite simple, there's no issue in submitting the application yourself. But if there's any sort of complexities or uncertainties concerning the dates, we highly recommend hiring a lawyer for this type of application. So if you have any questions regarding your citizenship application or your travel dates, please do not hesitate to contact your office and we'll be more than happy to assist you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.